Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for calling me in this debate. And I just want to make three really broad points about what has gone on over the last week. I want to talk about responsibility. I want to talk about this place's responsibility towards those who serve. I want to talk about our Afghan friends and our Afghan partners. And I also want to speak to and for, if I can, a number of veterans of that conflict who I've spoken to over the last week. When it comes to responsibility, can I just urge ministers to be very careful around talking exclusively about the Americans? We are very clear, and it is well understood, that they are the framework nation, or were the framework nation in Afghanistan. But people who join the military from council estates in Plymouth, Newcastle, Stoke, Birmingham, they do not serve the American flag. They serve the British flag. Absolutely. They're proud to do so. They do it at the behest of ministers in this place. And it dishonours their service to simply say the Americans have left, we are leaving. We do not spend £40 billion a year on a tier one military to be unable to go out the door without the Americans. And the taxpayer does not expect that. And I would urge ministers to take responsibility for the decisions they make, particularly when talking with the families. I want to talk about our Afghan friends and partners. And I'm pleased with the announcement today around refugees. It's a good start. Okay, people can talk numbers, they can say we want more, we want less. Okay, the reality is, it's basic maths, right? We are not going to get everyone out of Afghanistan who we promised to. Okay, so we can say we want more, we can say we want less. But the truth is as well, we have to be honest in this place. Okay, and campaigners have for many, many years campaigned against this relocation scheme, the previous intimidation scheme, and said it wasn't good enough. Okay, and ministers in this House have made decisions that has made it harder for them to come. So whilst I welcome this change today and our onward progression, let's not kid ourselves about what has happened in the past and treat those who are campaigning for these people of no self-interest of their own with perhaps a little bit more respect than they currently get at the moment. But finally, I do want to speak to veterans and for veterans if I can. And it's clear to me in the last few days, and Help for Heroes put out something yesterday, okay, these are new feelings. These are new feelings that we are not trained to deal with. We're not trained to lose, and we're not trained for ministers to, in a way, choose to be defeated by the Taliban. Was it all for nothing? Of course it wasn't for nothing, okay? And we have to get away from this narrative. You know, for a period of time, whether we like it or not, for a period of time, okay, Afghans, the average age in Afghanistan, 18 years old, they will have experienced a freedom and privileges that we enjoy here, and no one will ever take that away from them. And that's incredibly important. And what are we here to do if it's not to be good, honourable people and fight for the oppressed, keep our families safe and live to a higher calling? And you did this over many years in some of the hardest conditions against as dark an enemy as this nation has ever faced. We often looked to our forefathers for inspiration. You emulated them. You did them proud, not in scale, but in the same amphitheatre. And you can be forever proud of what you did when the nation called. You played your role. You cannot control what is happening now. Remember that. What folk like me saw you do, the courage, the sacrifice, the humanity, it will never die. And it has defined us as human beings. You did that. Nobody will ever take that away. I will never forget you. And every day the sun comes up, I will make sure this place and this country never forgets you and your sacrifice on the altar of this nation's continuing freedom. The government must now step up and support this group of bereaved families and veterans. We are going to see a bow wave of mental health challenges. We're not trained to cope with the feelings we have now. I've done everything I possibly could to support all the brilliant staff in the MOD, the Office of Veterans Affairs, the NHS who work tirelessly supporting veterans up and down this country. But I must say to the House with a heavy heart, the Prime Minister has consistently failed to honour what he said he would do when he was trying to become Prime Minister. The Prime Minister must not wriggle out of his commitments on this issue. The Office of Veterans Affairs is nothing like it was designed to be, and he knows that. The paltry £5 million funding slashed after less than a year. The lack of staff, not even an office to work from. Even today, the brilliant staff at the Office of Veterans Affairs simply cannot cope with the scale of the demand. And whilst his predecessors may get away with a certain degree of ignorance in this space, I'm afraid, Prime Minister, you have no excuse on this issue. It is a political choice. The ambivalence needs to end. He needs to step up and listen to the charities, listen to veterans, not those you choose to employ around you, who do not believe veterans' issues are worth the political capital required. The nation cares. We will make this government care. The scale of this challenge in dealing with this Afghan generation is only just beginning. I'd like to pay tribute to everybody who has spoken up in this debate, but particularly those who don't have a vested interest in Afghanistan and can see the inherent injustice of what is happening now. And thank you, Mr. Speaker, for recalling this House today.